I told myself I wouldn't do this. But when I went to Walmart and saw him hanging on the peg, he was the last one. I just couldn't help it. Couldn't help it. So, today, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Combiner Wars Skydive. If you know, I entered a contest to win, and I did not win. So, call it spite, call it upset, I don't know. I bought him. He is now mine. Before I dig into him, though, a lot of people talk about the packaging, and let me just say, this packaging is fantastic. All the way down to the gold band up here that signifies that he's the Superion guy. The artwork is fantastic. The black and red is fantastic. He comes with a bio card. Apparently they're going to re-release this first wave with comic books. I don't care. I like on the side where it shows Superion, and the back where, it shows all the guys. They're just cool. These boxes are really neat. They're really well designed, and I like them. So let's open them up. Take a look. Alright, so here we have Skydive in his jet mode, and it's very, very nice. It looks a whole lot like an updated... Oh, those aren't out all the way. Looks a whole lot like an updated G1 toy. I believe he's an F-16 fighter jet, and obviously this is heavily modified from G1 days. He's very nice. He's a nice kind of grayish color with the black and gold wings. Now in G1 he had lightning bolts, but I think this whole design is a whole lot sleeker. On the underside you can see some intakes right here painted in silver. A lot of robot junk going on right here. He's got gold missile pods. But from the top and from the front, he looks very good. He looks very coherent as a jet. So he is a very nice jet. He doesn't have any landing gear other than just sitting. So that's about all you can do with the jet mode other than, do that. He comes with two weapons. The first one is his hand-foot gun. It's got a couple missile pods, I think. I don't know. And he also has his twin-barreled cannon, which looks really good. And they can peg on a couple of places. There's this peg hole up top, which I don't know why you do that. You can also put them underneath the wings, kind of as underslung cannons, which looks alright. But personally, the missile pods are enough. So that's what you're looking at in terms of weaponry. And actually, I think for the gun, the thumb flips up. There you go. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the jet mode. We'll go ahead and put him in the foot leg mode right now because that's the closest to what we're at right now. So in order to put him in the foot mode, you want to take this and move this up a little bit. Give this some clearance, because then you're going to take the cockpit, and the whole cockpit comes down and then bends up and tabs in right there, and you can close that back up. Then the instructions tell you to flip the wings all the way up like this to where they're pointed out like that. Take his head, and that's actually fine. Depending on where his combiner port's going to be, you may want to flip his head around, but for this, I like to leave it facing towards the nose cone. And then you want to flip the combiner port up and out, and then you close that up. See, his face shows through a little bit, but that's the back of the leg, so no one's really going to see it. Because when you bend it like this, you don't want to see his face if you bend his knee. And then you take the hand-foot gun and make it a foot. You just pull this little, that's a heel spur right now. You just flip it out and you peg it in. And then you stand him up, and there's his leg mode. Now, I personally think it looks a little bit better if you click these out, just one, alright? That's all the way out. But I click them this way, so they're kind of at an angle, and then I do the same thing with the wings to kind of give it that kind of splayed look. Now, I don't really have to, depending on how it looks with Superion. I think this covers up the hands a little bit and gives it just a little bit more of a, of depth, where this looks very skinny and kind of bare bones. I don't really like the way that looks. But if you spread these wings out a little bit, it makes it look a little bit better. And so that's how his leg and his articulation, you know, there's going to be his knee joint. So that's leg mode. And then going to robot mode is pretty simple. You want to just go back to take the foot off. You want to take the arms and you want to untab them. Bring these wings out. These panels kind of rotate up like this. They kind of come out to the side. Rotate up like this. The legs are really cool. This panel hinges back like this. These come back. And then the legs kind of accordion fold out like this. And then these panels close back up. And then you split the legs. There's his legs. The wings go back kind of at an angle like that. You bring these shoulders up like so. Then you flip the head around and then rotate the head that way. And then there you have Skydive in his robot mode. And something I already like about these Combiner Wars guys is their transformations feel satisfying, but they're also simple. So they're not super easy. I feel like there's a level of depth to it, but already I really like where these are going. I think that they have mastered the complexity. And so anyway, here's his hand-foot gun. So you flip this back up, flip the heel spur back up, and now he can hold this as a giant cannon. So he can hold that. And he can also hold his twin-barreled rifle. So he's pretty armed here. You know, he's ready to rough and tumble. But posability-wise, he's pretty nice. His posability is a little loose or a little weird in a couple spots. But overall, you know, these wings, obviously you can put them straight back or you can put them like this. It's kind of personal preference. His head is on a ball joint, so it kind of twists. You can also manipulate this combiner port joint however you want, kind of, as long as it, you know, within reason. Shoulder has a ball joint, bicep swivel, and then a 90-degree bend at the elbow. There is a waist joint. He has a ball jointed hip and a thigh swivel, and then 90 degrees at the knee, and that's it. Pretty good, pretty expressive. You can get him into some cool poses. You know, make him look like he's ready to go. He does have the Tamashii stage port on his butt right there, so that's something that looks like they're trying to do now, which is good. I like that they're adding in a little bit of, you know, versatility to these guys, giving them where they can be posed. So last but not least, we'll go to his arm mode, which he's supposed to be a leg. In G1, he was a leg, but on the back of the box, they're showing him as the arm. I believe in G1, Skydive was the left leg. However, on this diagram, it looks as if he is the left arm. So we'll have to see what they want. He's supposed to be the leg in G1, so that's what I'm going to go off of when I build Superion, is I'm going to go off of, you know, the G1 diagram. So what you do is you take the wings and you flip them flat. You bring the shoulders down like this, and then you rotate the arms to where the fist is pointing outward. You bend the elbow, and then there's a tab on the wing, and the arm tabs into that tab. Do the same thing over here. Rotate. Tab the arm in right there. And at first I didn't like that his fist is showing, but you really, when you look at the whole package, you really can't tell. You flip his head around again. Bring out that combiner port like that. Then you tab these legs together, rotate the waist, bend it up. This is a right arm. Then you take the hand-foot gun, plug it on. You get under here, you flip out the fingers, bend that down, bring the thumb over, and there's the arm mode, which I think looks really good. I really like the way he looks as an arm. He looks very solid, very sturdy, and I even tend to flay these out a little bit. I don't know. I just kind of like the way that looks. It gives it a little bit more of a dramatic look to it. It really looks like a robot arm that you'd be scared of. But this just goes to show the scale of Superion. This is bent 90 degrees, and it's still a very, very large, you know, arm. So Superion's going to be pretty big, and I'm really excited to put him together now that I have a reason to, because, well, you know, I have one of them, so why not? I'm hoping to get Silverbolt next because I want to do the torso. But if I find Firefly or Alpha Bravo, you know, obviously I'm going to get those. I don't know if I'm going to do the Stunticons yet. I just kind of want to put together Superion and see how that goes. But if the Combiner Wars is any indication off of this guy, I'm very impressed so far. One minor complaint when I got him out of the box, there was some plastic that when I was moving him and transforming him, some plastic shavings were coming off. That was concerning to me, but it hasn't done it since. After that first transformation, nothing else has fallen off. So he feels pretty sturdy now. So I don't know if it was just the way they're manufacturing these or what. But anyway, something else I want to talk about is there's a peg hole right here. So he can hold this gun in that peg hole. So the Combiner Wars hands are genius that they're a gun, a hand, and a foot. And they can also hold weapons. So that's going to be really cool. But anyway, I'm very impressed with Skydive. I'm glad I picked him up now that I have him, and now that I've, you know, given him a look. And I'm pretty excited to put together Superion. So, stay tuned. I'm going to try to find Silverbolt next, but depending on who I find, I may do another limb. Anyway, thanks for viewing this video, and goodbye.